Should we do what Shad always does? Welcome to Nightly News.
Welcome to Nightly News. Do you want to do the intro?
That was the intro.
Oh.
The intro's been played now, and now it's post-intro, Oz.
Wait, right now?
Right now in this moment.
Okay, so
where
we're starting.
it's just us two today, because...
Yeah, because Shad is dead. No. But the show must go on.
We won't say what caused it, but...
He's not dead. He just thought, you know what? Maybe Nathan can talk today.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. He might change his mind.
He might come in at any second.
It's happened before. It's happened before, everyone.
Let's get this done quick, guys. Okay.
Short video this week.
Yeah, so, first bit of news.
Yes.
Not really a big one, but just another EA you suck thing. Battlefield Portal removed Rush from Battlefield. Now, this is last week's news, but I just thought...
It's weird to bring up, or like the fact that this has even happened, because I loved Rush.
Yeah.
Especially Bad Company days, Bad Company 2. Rush was the go-to game mode. That was so much fun. And I will admit, the new game modes are good as well. Like, Conquest is a classic. But what's the new one they have in 2042? It's like... I don't know how to explain it. I
didn't play that long. I refunded it after like 2 days.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's another game mode now which basically has replaced Rush, where you have 3 points, and the enemy team has to take it. Once they've got all the points, then you move on to the next layer. And so they.
Well, that's basically Rush. You know?
It's like Rush, but instead of bombs, it's flags.
Why not just keep Rush?
I don't know why they got rid of Rush. That's what I'm confused about, because it's.
You know this thing you loved? Well, we're going to change it and get rid of the other one.
Because people were playing Rush more than everything else, and so I thought, oh, this is not good, we should just remove it. But that's a crappy thing to do.
It's stupid.
It's like Fortnite bringing in Battle Royale and saying, oh, everyone likes Battle Royales. We should probably get rid of this game mode so everyone only plays the other game modes. But like that's not how it works when you're making a game. You let people play... Yeah, anyways, that's... So
that's just another... EA is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing we can really do about it. Nothing they can do about it, apparently.
Unless if they're going to bring out some sort of Rush game only.
That would be cool. I'd play that.
I'd buy that.
But no, they won't.
And refund 2042 like you.
2042 sucked.
Oh.
Alright. Now, we covered this, either you've already seen this video or it's yet to come out, depending on Nathan's editing speed, because it's a big one.
Well, all things considered, I reckon this will come out first before that.
Okay. Well, so the G4 TV debacle, tomato. With the lady, is it Forced?
Forced.
It's Forsk.
That's it.
Yes, so Fork has had a bit of a...
Meltdown is the trending word.
Yeah.
Look, we've got a whole video on it, sorry.
We've got a whole video on it.
There's not much to really say, but...
But what was that thing that you noticed you were talking about after today, this afternoon?
Oh, just the comments are still going.
Yeah.
Even after her Meltdown, new videos with her in it, people basically still... I mean, it is harassment just to continually saying that stuff to people. Like, it's not good, but the fact that she called it out in the way that she did, it's only going to spark more.
Well, is it harassment if, like, I go to... I don't know, let's say some political YouTuber says something I don't like.
Yeah.
Is it harassment if I go to one of their videos and leave a dislike at their most recent video?
That's different. These were comments that were targeted at her and were obviously a bit distasteful.
Yeah.
Even for, like, your group setting, I think. You'd even be like, well, bro, that's a bit...
Well, that's the thing, right?
So not cool.
My side of things, at least I would consider myself to be like, light trolling. Nothing, like, evil.
Yeah.
Like, funny comments are fine.
Yeah.
Like... I draw the line at, I don't know where.
There was the nightly news stream that I'll never forget.
What happened there?
When you showed that sword to Shad, but it wasn't really a sword.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, you see, that's fine. But I wouldn't actively pursue someone over and over again.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like, oh, look at what the chat is saying to me, and the chat's not saying it. It then kind of hurts your argument to come out and say what she's saying.
Exactly,
yeah. Don't do the thing they're accusing you of,
But, yeah, the thing that she's done is just caused... Like, if she wanted to solve the problem, it's one of those things where, like, the way to solve it is to not bring it up.
Yeah, just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with trolls, you have more power over ignoring them than actually giving them the stuff.
But
we do a whole video coverage of that as well, so...
Yeah, and now that you've shown that, you've got power over her, or... Now that they see the power they have over you, they're going to keep doing it. So
So
excellent work. All right, this is your one.
Is it?
Troy Baker NFT. What happened here?
So Troy, good old Troy. I actually love the guy.
Troy?
I got mad respect for Troy
Troy the
Baker.
Wonder Boy? Yeah.
Great voice actor. He's so good at his job. Most of the time, it's not until after the game I realize, oh, wait, that was Troy?
Troy?
Like,
Troy
so
did
he's
this?
in Uncharted 4, you could tell it's Troy, because it's just him speaking.
Who was it before? Who was it before? Who was it before Troy?
What do you mean?
Who did the voice before
No,
Troy?
it was Troy.
The whole time?
No, because in Uncharted, he comes back, or he comes in number 4 as his Nathan's lost brother.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Nathan Drake.
No. So he didn't replace him. He came in, but like as soon as he speaks, you're like, oh yeah, that's Troy.
Yeah.
But like in the Miles Morales game, the guy talks, the villain. You're like, he sounds kind of familiar. And it's not until later you're like, oh, that was Troy, because he had a really good like evil American guy accent that was just a bit off. Same with Booker as well. Like he's done and Joel. If you put all those characters together, they're all white, straight men, but like they all sound different.
Well, would you want him to play a trans female?
No.
I mean, sorry, would you want him to play
a gay...
I don't know.
Yeah.
Walking on minefield eggshells.
Anyways, so they have a podcast with Alana Pierce and 2 other people in the industry, and I respect them a lot because they all have different perspectives. Yeah. 2 of them are very left-leaning. Troy, I reckon
He's in the industry. He has to be left-leaning.
He's centralist, at least. He's probably more left-leaning for you, but he does. I think he has some good, not policies, but what do you call them? Principles.
Yeah, sure.
He's got good principles.
But,
he's a great dad.
He's centrist.
Yeah, he's a great dad.
No offense. Okay, I find centrists more annoying than lefties.
I know you do.
Because here's the thing, right? I can like talk to a lefty and have fun with them in the sense that like we might hate each other or disagree with each other, but we still understand that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having a
but that's why I
game.
get confused because some things are brought up in the podcast, and I'm like, okay, he's left leaning, obviously, but then he brings up other stuff, and I'm like, where is he? Like, it's hard to gauge sometimes.
Yeah, and it's hard to have conversations with him when I can't know everything about you based on your political.
Yeah, but the so they got the names. I always know the names until I have to like say them.
Then you
so
don't
you got
know
Alana, Troy. Why isn't he did Journey? It's name on the tip of my tongue.
You don't have to know them to know.
But I listen to them all the time, so I feel like I have to know them. Anyways, so he's definitely more right leaning. He came into so basically this went really hard. I was actually quite proud of them.
Yeah.
So this came out. Troy did a tweet saying basically I'm doing NFTs, not traditional images and stuff.
But his voice.
In a way, yeah. So what he told his story basically, and this is kind of another third party source telling you now. What he wanted a service where smaller, for example, for us, if you want someone to be a voice actor or independent game developers, someone who can't afford or a big budget voice actor or whatever, have a service where they can pay an AI or NFT or some sort of service where they can say, okay, I want Troy's voice, and I'll pay a small amount for it. Okay. And he's like, I'm willing to do that. I want to do that. I just don't have the time or resources. Like he physically can't give an indie dev the budget for that because he just costs too much.
Yeah, because it's not worth his time.
Yeah, it's not worth his time. But he's like, I would gladly give my voice somehow to do that. And so this company's like, hey, we can do that. And that was more of the discussion on it. So he was more keen on like, okay, I want to help smaller people be able to do voice acting because there's a voice actor. And he's like, inevitably, it's going to happen. So I may as well embrace it now and get used to it than be dreaded like, oh, they're replacing my job and whatever.
Well, it's just good marketing. It's like, okay, my product is my voice.
Yeah.
I want to get that out as to many people as possible.
That was the other thing too. He's like, it's better to have thousands of people using my voice than it is to have those 2 big studios who just can pay me big bucks. I'd rather have it'd be fairer for everyone to do that.
Yeah.
And so that was the discussion. And basically he's come out and promoted that, but the company, the way that they're using the ownership is through NFTs.
Okay.
And that's how they're tracking lots of
and
the
so
server
people
stuff.
just heard
NFT blockchain.
Yeah.
Now his tweet, if you know Troy, it's kind of him just being the usual himself and being like, love it or hate it, man, like whatever. But most people on Twitter who read that are like, oh.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, so people really took that the wrong way. Yep. And it's funny because his composer friend, whose name escapes me and frustrates me.
Marty O'Donnell.
No, not him. But he came in and he made joking tweets. He's kind of... I think you get along with him very well because he came in and was like very sarcastic and stuff. But then people took him seriously as well.
Yeah,
so
it's the internet, man.
Bring debacle. But then Alana and the other dev, they're very, very leftist. Like one of the dev basically says, yeah, I'm a commie.
Yeah.
He's very open about it.
Oh, you're a commie?
Yeah.
Do you want to go on a helicopter tour?
But he made like Thomas Was Alone, and like he's actually a really good game developer. But when it comes to his political leanings, I'm just like, oh.
What does he do in the game development thing?
He's basically a capitalist.
Yeah,
like,
that's my point.
He owns his own game studio and pays people to do stuff. Like he's like, that's the irony of it. It's like he's like, I love capitalism, but also I'm a capitalist. But then Alana's very outright like, Troy, this is the dumbest thing. Like they had a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And they did an episode right after the tweet transpired.
And talked about it.
And they had a really hard conversation, which I'll be honest with you, I'm quite impressed that they did that. And I listened to it, and obviously they still have bad feelings about what's happened, but they've also, there wasn't any like malice towards anyone, which I think was like quite mature of them.
Just wait till I get back on Twitter. Am I right?
I don't know, because I haven't seen since, but I feel like the discussion was good, and like, you know, it's not like we've seen it with other cancel culture stuff more recently, that like the left were very like, they were like, Troy, what are you doing? Let's have a talk. And his dev friend was like, Troy, I know what you want to do, and I want to help you accomplish that without using NFTs or blockchain.
Okay.
And so there's this, look, I think they need to give Troy a bit of slack, and I think NFTs as well, like, yes, there's things shady about them, especially when it comes to money laundering, and people can go on about the environment and stuff, but I feel like both sides are just as, like, hateful towards each other. People who hate NFTs are going to be just like, if I say NFT, they're going to just think less of me.
Yeah.
And vice versa with those who love it, and then I'm like, a bit skeptical, they're going to be like, oh, okay, so you're on their side. So I think that way things are very, very polarized. But, so that happened. I think he'll get through it.
Hope so.
People hated it, but he's still a good guy, and he's come out and spoken. And like, when you look at him and Twitter, they don't really match up, because he's the most like, I'll listen to you, let's talk, and whatever. But then he's like, Twitter isn't the best platform to do that, so maybe I shouldn't have tweeted that to begin with.
Twitter's not the best platform for anything.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Except for screenshots of your video game, but they don't go viral anyways.
Yeah. Reddit's better for that sort of stuff, I think. And I don't like Reddit.
Well, then to talk about that, I'll just do my 2 cents there. It sucks, though, for game developers, because you cannot post screenshots from your own game, basically.
Really?
Most forums will just ban you, because it's self-promotion.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, there are some specific ones that are dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And it's got some really cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
Like, game dev, I'm pretty sure, you know, like, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard space right now, because there's lots of good platforms to post stuff on, whether it's... I mean, heck, even Facebook Live is popping off for some people, but like...
There's commie watchtowers everywhere. You gotta keep your head down.
It sucks because you can so easily get banned or kicked off of something for something that you naively didn't know.
That'll be a good lead into the next story. Even it's not the next
okay, what is it?
Down. Phil Spencer wants to ban you from everything, comrade.
Everything?
Everything!
What's the story?
So, basically he went out and said... I want to make a system where if you get banned from Xbox for hate speech, you'll get banned from PlayStation, Steam, Nintendo, you know, why not Facebook? Why not YouTube? Why not have your Microsoft account deleted completely?
Just your online profile.
Wait, what? That's not even far enough. What if we get rid of your bank account? What if we send the Gestapo around to you? Sorry, what are they called again? The NKVD around to your place to take you to a faraway location where you can destroy rocks all day with a hammer. Why not?
Honestly, the way that it's one thing to have your own platform and to ban people, but then to say you were bad on my platform, therefore your life should be hell.
Yeah.
It's like, what happens if your friend, who this has happened heaps of times, like your friend hops on your account and does something dumb, and you're like, no! Or like, you know...
Yeah, or your brother gets onto your phone and messages a girl and says, hey, do you like this person? This is his brother talking. Happens all the time.
Yeah. And so just the way you said, I feel like I need a pause for comedic effect.
No, you don't.
Okay.
It wasn't very funny.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But yeah, and so in this regard, especially when connecting things like Xbox and Steam and that,
and crossplay.
Crossplay is cool for being able to play with your friends. But when you start incorporating... And basically, I feel like not only does he want to ban you from everything, he wants to own all those platforms as well. Because by having that power,
If you can choose who the user is,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of have a lot of control there. Yeah.
Yeah, and being Microsoft as well, how many people have Outlook accounts and stuff?
Yep.
Like,
When's it
Microsoft's
end, man?
anywhere. Yeah.
When's it end? It's like it's a big dragon you
Yeah.
can't defeat, man, because the chaos.
So, and okay, the one thing I'm worried about, and we've seen this now coming more into the YouTube space, is people right now would say, oh, well, then don't get banned. Don't say anything racist. Don't be whatever. But like, once all this stuff comes to pass, you don't know what's going to be allowed and what's not going to be allowed.
Yep, and in order to tell the truth, you have to risk being offensive.
Yeah.
Can't do it any other way.
And people can change their policies. Like Microsoft can be like, great, we've got the power. Let's change the policy. These are all the things you have to do. If you don't do them, you get kicked out.
I remember in high school when YouTube came out and said, "Oh, we're going to start banning anti-vax content." This is like 2014 or 16, one of the two.
Wow.
And at the time, I was thinking, you know what? Good. Yeah, get rid of these anti-vax people. You know, they're stupid. What do I know? I was young at the time.
Yeah.
And now they're doing. You can't say that. What do you call it? Climate change is not real.
Yeah. Global warming's a myth.
Yes. No, don't say that.
Well, sorry, I got you tagged.
Correct yourself.
It's not a myth because the globe is warming up.
The globe is warming up. Yes, that was a fact. And if we were to say otherwise, like all true things, it is unquestionable.
Are flat earthers allowed on YouTube still? Did they go after them?
No, they want flat earthers because then people can be like, "Oh, look, conspiracy theorists! Look how dumb they are! They think the Earth is flat."
See, that's the double standard right there. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't talk about global warming or medicine or whatever.
What about the JFK documentaries?
Yeah,
They're like, oh, he wasn't killed by what they say he was.
Yeah.
You know?
Flat earthers are allowed on
9/11?
YouTube and
What about the ones where every bird is actually a government drone?
yeah, that's in. Okay, keep going.
Trees are evil. The dinosaurs never disappeared. They turned
into chickens.
into chickens. That's
Yeah,
true, actually.
That's true. But yeah, it's incredible bias, and it's scary because it just means that you have to go along with our narrative, otherwise you'll get kicked.
Just
off.
wait for things to flip.
And
There's
as
always
well,
flip.
they could end up connecting that stuff to like Amazon accounts as well, because if you got your Microsoft integrated with your Twitch, which is connected to your Amazon, which is how you get food for some people.
Yep. They're going to do it with bank accounts.
Yeah.
They're already doing it with high-profile people. Like, if you're a high-profile person that's on the other side of the thing that they don't like, they'll just delete your bank account.
Which is insane.
They've done it to millionaires.
Yeah.
You know, they just do it. Why not? So,
Scary stuff.
I would say just make your own bank, but Colonel Gaddafi tried that and didn't work out well for him,
Yeah.
which led on to a whole host of problems in the following years.
Anyways, that I mean, I know some people will probably see that and be like, okay, guys, that's a bit extreme. But we've been around here for a while, and if you haven't watched all the videos, you probably should, because we've got a few really good ones about politics and where the world is going. And I have to say, yeah, it's one thing to block people on your own service, but to then want to connect your service to everyone else's and then have control over those, that's pretty scummy to me.
It's one thing to block people. Why not just have individuals blocking the people they don't want to hear from? You don't need to destroy their entire life, but actually you do, because it's a whole game of political power, and there's various end times prophecies involved that we're living through.
And it frustrates me because, again, with their policies, you could be playing a single player game and they could listen to your microphone, you could say something, and then policy could be that like you can't say anything inappropriate or bad or negative even while playing single player games, and then you'll get kicked. Like, they can do that.
Drink the verification can, bigot.
Yeah, like your account isn't verified, therefore you're banned.
Yep, do the verification song and dance.
Like, that's what
open your verification
that's what they could do. So I think it's a terrible idea. I reckon they'll eventually do it, but it might take a bit of time for them to actually get around to everyone else. Because, okay, Nintendo has been very closed off about all of this stuff, and I think it would take them a very long time and a lot of power to convince them to hand over the keys to their kingdom.
Thank you, Japan, for being isolationist. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Okay, so speaking of woke stuff, Microsoft introduces feature for Word that suggests politically correct alternatives.
Hey, it'd be great for script writers and stuff that are great for their conventions they do, right? Their presentations.
Well, I mean, like, now it's just like when someone's writing a script, it's all right there for you, When it comes up with, and we had this character, like when describing a character, like he had pale white skin. Oh, wait, no, black character. It'll just autocorrect for you,
Yeah. Is this only for the new, like, Microsoft 365 stuff?
I have no idea.
Okay,
they said this is just a suggestion to come up. I just read the headlines.
I reckon it's going to be for their subscription service, which thankfully I don't use.
Yep.
Because I bought a perpetual license for 2016, and it's great.
A perpetual license?
Yeah, it means
you paid for Word?
Hmm?
You paid for Word?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Dude, I tried using... I mean, I do use OpenOffice on the work computers, but at home it's just nice to have... It's 2016, though. Like,
No
it's
offense,
a good
man,
version. It's before stuff...
You're a silly sausage. I hate to use that term.
I got it cheap, though.
Yeah. There's free alternatives. I prefer free alternatives to everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and some things I think open source is good, but other times there's a reason why it's commercial and it sells.
But if you can find an open source version.
Yeah, I know, but I tell you, I'm trying to use Word.
Okay.
Okay, it's just people can entitle an opinion. Okay.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, they also want to change the words that you can type in. Well, suggestions, but at this point,
It'll autocorrect probably, eventually.
If you misspell Snickers bar...
It'll be a button.
you're in a lot of trouble,
It'll be like, you open it and you start typing and start changing words. You got to go into a setting, into the submenu, into the whatever, to take a tick off so then it wouldn't do that anymore.
Oh, dude, it'll go further. It'll just escalate and escalate.
Yeah.
It'll be like...
There'll be a plugin you got to download from Brave that will activate in Word to...
Yeah.
It'll be like the YouTube dislike button.
Yeah. Maybe it might get worse. Who knows?
Yeah.
Things keep escalating. So yeah, I don't like that. Which is why I don't really pay for anything Microsoft. It just comes pre-installed on my computer. All right. Bit of personal, local news. I finished the third Wax and Wayne Mistborn book.
Oh yeah.
Last night. It's very good.
Very good.
Yep. It's this is the next Harry Potter when it comes out, man. When
Really?
it comes out
You
in
reckon?
movie or TV form. Yeah.
Oh.
No, seriously, man. This guy's a great writer. There's a reason.
It's just a challenging part of turning those words into a feature film or TV show. Cause, it was seen from real time and Lord of the Rings. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I remember what year we're in.
Yeah.
I was thinking back. Oh, Harry Potter was a great adaptation.
Have you seen the reunion?
No, I haven't actually, but
Me
I do
neither.
know what happened.
I saw the trailer and that was enough for me.
Yeah, those evil people. Okay, right. I think we talked about this before, but if Shad made you $110 million, and this is something that
I would probably give him a shout out in my video, or if I was doing like a memoir, I would have a chapter set to Shad. Like I would
at the
give
very
him,
least.
Yeah. Even if I found out he was some crazy guy, which I mean,
Well,
I
crazier.
Crazier. Okay, sure. Mentally unwell, which
Yeah.
he's not. He's just a bit crazy with swords and.
We'll go a little bit crazy sometimes.
It's a fun crazy. I'd never feel endangered.
Yeah, we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy.
Because that one time when I was wearing the plastic armor, and then he's like, "Can I hit you?" I mean, I was all down for it actually. That was really fun.
Yeah. He tried that with me, and then he's like, "No, pull your pants up." It's the weirdest thing. We had a bit of a miscommunication.
And you're like, "Oh, okay, not like last time."
Don't make it weird. Okay, so that's my bit of news and weirdness right there. God of War is coming to PC. It should be on PC right now.
It's on PC now. People are loving it.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah.
I played like 20 minutes of it, and it was a lot of fun. The fact you can just like throw your axe, and then you're like, dunk. The most satisfying thing is Kratos grabbing it out of the air.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Very satisfying. No, it's a good game.
Solid. All right. Yes, Bob Saget, the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He died at age 65.
Man, all these comedians are dying so early.
Yep. We lost Norm Macdonald, who, after he died, I went back and watched his old stuff. I'd seen some before, but I didn't recognise the true genius that was Norm Macdonald. And so I guess I got to go through the same thing with Bob Saget, because he's a very funny man, did a lot of funny TV shows. Yeah. So rest in peace to him. He did have a YouTube channel.
Oh.
He discusses something in the last video. I think it was either the last or the second last he did.
Yeah.
He says, "I went and got something," and this is the last like 5 minutes. I won't say.
Yeah.
I won't say. He said, I went and got something yesterday, and then a month later he died. Just saying. Nothing sus. Alright, so Warhammer Plus. You know Warhammer, right?
I know about Warhammer, yep.
The stuff that I was rushing to build while you set all this up.
Yep.
Yeah, so they put out an app.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, as well as like a little launch bonus. You know how they do like...
Oh, yeah, like
this thing where they would copyright strike all the different animators and threaten to sue them, like just as a launch bonus thing.
Yeah.
Unless they worked for them.
Yeah.
You know, just good old-fashioned slavery. So, yeah, they put out like an earnings report, like a investor...
Yeah, earnings report,
sheet.
yeah.
And they basically lied throughout the whole thing, saying like, oh, hey, we put these trailers out for these new things, and they got tens of millions of views, and no, they didn't. They barely got above 1 million. So where did they get all those numbers from? They have so like on YouTube, there's tons of lore channels, because there's a massive, expansive lore around Warhammer 40k going on like 30 years, right?
Yep.
They have their own channel on the Warhammer Plus thing, and they've brought out 3 videos in the past like 4 months, versus like there's YouTubers.
Some of the other people, who just give out the content and get heaps of views.
Yeah, and but it's like high quality stuff. Like they sound like voice actors. Their voices are so smooth. Like
those are my favorite YouTubers. People
Yeah.
who just have beautiful, soothing voices.
Yeah, there's a guy called, I think his name is Baldemort or Baldemore, something like that. He's got an incredibly smooth, crisp voice, kind of opposites. But yeah, really good British voice, and he brings out a video every so often, and it's awesome, right? But these guys, they're just regular dudes standing in front of a camera. Their art is like just regular art. They don't have any new art. They don't have any new lore. It's all just the same stuff that everyone's heard 1,000 times. Nothing obscure.
Yeah.
Nothing deep. And they just can't do it apparently.
Yeah.
And so the app's not making money. They've got like 2 million users, I think, or is it 2 million views? One of the two. And yeah, it's just failing completely. And so they're probably going to try a different tactic. They won't get rid of the money grubbing, you know, soulless corporate zombies that they are.
No.
They're just going to keep chewing on brains and
Dead corpses.
Yep. Still love the models. I bought a bunch. I bought new. I bought.
It's what do you call it? What crack is it? It's model
plastic crack.
Plastic crack. Yeah. That's
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Except instead of smoking it, you don't paint it. Warhammer people will get that. Yeah. I bought Gazkul Uruk Thraka because he's awesome. Yeah. And what else is there for news? Oh, what about you, man? What's some news for you?
Some news for me. Okay, I'm gonna shut up my channel now because I haven't done that enough, and Shad said it was okay.
Nice.
So, for those who don't know, if you go to the description down below, there'll be a little part that says Nathan's channel. Click on that, and you go to my channel, where I talk about my video game that I'm making right now, called Coco Loco.
Coco Loco?
Coco Loco.
Yo!
It's a little game. It's inspired by... Did you ever play Flash growing up? With the Flash games on the computer?
Did I play Flash games? Does a bear crap in the woods?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is one game that I loved called... It was in the genre of, the restaurant games.
Yeah.
One called Penguin Diner, where you're just little waitress penguin that would, like, deliver food and whatever. I loved that game just because of how, like, intense it got. You'd have, like, people angry that the orders aren't there and people lining up and you'd be going around. So I thought, you know what, let's try and revisit that game, but give it a fresh coat of paint. If those developers were living now as indie devs, what would they make? And so I'm trying to visit that and, make it something a little bit more casual and... What's the word I'm looking for? Like wholesome.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of horror games right now in indie dev space going up. People love horror games and... I'd love to make a first-person shooter, but holy crap, there are just so many in the world. And so I thought I'll make something a little bit different, a little bit, off the path.
But at the same time, what is it with people that are in couples and cooking games?
Okay, cooking games, for me, it's just wholesome games.
Okay.
So cooking, yeah.
But you're not the first couple that I've noticed follow this trend. There are many. There are many, in fact.
It's just something that is... like both sides can enjoy. Who doesn't love food?
Who doesn't love cooking? I love cooking.
Exactly.
But why do you have to do it in like that? Why don't you just cook together?
Because it takes effort, you got to clean up afterwards. And like, one of the things with this game, it's like, not everyone can start their own business in real life. Like, that's a scary thing. So in this game, it's going to give those people that little adrenaline of like, oh, I got my own little business and stuff, without the actual risk of like losing your livelihood.
Without the risk or the reward.
Yeah. I mean,
but to be fair, it's more of a risk in the days where governments can be like, you don't get to do anything today.
Yeah, you got to close down right now.
Yeah. For 2 weeks, you can't do a single thing.
Yeah. So
stay inside or get fined.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's the game we're working on. But aside from that, I usually do videos as well, kind of talking about certain topics with game development. As you probably all know, I love video games and the tech side of it. Yeah, because whenever we talk about swords or Warhammer, I'm just like...
No. Whenever me and Shad talk about anything, you're just like...
Yeah, politics as well. Like, it's taken me a while to slowly...
because you're an ABC watcher. No, it's because you're a centrist.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, talking about politics isn't going to do much. I'm going to act out my policies instead.
Not your
my principles.
Your politics.
My politics, yeah.
You're a centrist. You don't have any principles. I'm sorry.
No,
but you're in the church, so you do. But if you're a centrist, you have no principles.
But
you know what a centrist principle is like, oh, you're both arguing, you both hate each other. If I'm to take both of your words, one side's a Nazi and one side's a communist. Well, you know what? Let's compromise between the two. That's what you guys believe, okay?
Whereas, I don't think I do, because I reckon that... Okay, now I think I've changed maybe. Maybe before I was like, maybe don't use those as titles. But now I'm like, yeah, no, you're right.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay. And if you can't answer like that, then I already know that you're still a centrist.
Damn it. Okay,
devoid of hope. Okay? In the culture war, who's right? Who is correct?
The right?
Okay, yeah, you're on the winning side still.
Thanks.
That's good. But you had a lot of hesitation there.
The left are idiots. No, because part of me is like, is it a trick question? Is he trying to trick me?
Okay.
Because that's my first instinct is the right, because the left are just...
Insane communists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to shilling my channel.
Go on.
So, I do videos on just industry topics, and I'm going to start doing interviews.
Oh.
With other game dev YouTubers and developers in general.
Nice.
So, I got one coming up in a few weeks. Right now, I surpassed 300 subs, which is amazing.
Awesome. They found you?
Mostly from just commenting on their comments.
Okay.
True. I think a few people did like click on the description, read like, you guys are amazing who like read all that text and are like, oh, there's Shad's book, I'll buy that, and there's this channel, oh, and there's Shadiversity, I'll subscribe to that.
Yeah, good work.
You found my channel, so thank you.
Good work, readers.
But yeah, this year is one of my goals is to grow my channel.
That way you can kick us to the curb because you hate us.
No, it just means, okay, I will just say this openly to everyone. If the channel does blow up, I would go part-time and still work here.
Oh,
I would not leave you guys out in the dust.
Who would...
Exactly, that's why.
Me?
Because when we were on break, okay, we had that week off, I was like, man, if I died this week and couldn't come back to work, poor Oz would have to do everything.
That should have been the first thought in your mind.
And I could just see with the camera being like, is it too bright? Is it too dark? I don't know. So, yeah,
is this a camera?
Yeah. Or is this my phone? I don't know. So, no, don't worry, guys. It's more of just a long-term thing and a passion as well. Like the same thing with Shad and his book, YouTube channels to promote the game. So when the game comes out, people actually know that it's out and what it is.
Yeah, and in the same vein, if anyone wants to check out my channel, no, because there's no content on it, because I'm lazy and I require other people to bounce off to get content made. So, cheers. Although I'm working on something with my mates, I haven't really got around to reviewing the video that my mate edited for me of us just watching a movie and commenting on it. We watched Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah.
And just comment on it. We're going through the schizo movies.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll tell you what. The channel's called Skits Show, as in like schizophrenic show. You know, Skits Show. And yeah, we're just gonna watch movies and talk crap.
Yeah. And I say this down at the end because those who have clicked on for the first time would probably clicked off by now because we're not talking about new stuff. We're just rambling about ourselves.
Yeah.
But for those who stick around, we know that you care about us and you enjoy the content not only for the substance, but because of the people you're watching and listening to.
You know what? I want to go one way further than that,
okay.
Right? The people who are new that clicked on this, they came here for Shad and they clicked off. And
yeah, because they saw me on here. Yeah, there are those people too, though. They're regular viewers.
Yeah.
And they don't watch our stuff because there's no Shad. But look, here's Shad now. Here he is.
Oh.
Hey guys.
Oh, but wait.
Greetings, I'm Shad.
How could it be Shad? He didn't interrupt Nathan yet.
Oh, but he did.
Oh.
Anyway, so...
Oh, yeah,
that's a bit rude. That's Shad. Anyways, you can go now, Shad. You'll enjoy editing that face in, won't you?
Oh, yeah, that'll be great. I'll be editing this one.
Yeah.
Because it's late. So that's all the news I really had. I did have some other. I had one other thing. There are two other things, but they were just Facebook articles I wrote down. Leonardo DiCaprio is apparently a huge Star Wars fan. That like people like Jonah Hill, and apparently this is just stuff I saw on Facebook, so it's probably fake.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill's like, oh yeah, he made me watch all of those movies, and apparently he went on a date with a supermodel, and he rented out an entire theater and danced around with a lightsaber, pretending he was fighting bad guys.
I mean, you know what? If you're a rich, was he a millionaire?
He's probably a billionaire.
He's
if he's not
very rich.
Yeah.
If I was that rich in like Star Wars, I would do the same thing. So.
Yeah, I'd just try to make them good again. That's what I'd do if I was a millionaire.
Yeah, try them buy them off Disney.
Yeah.
You know what? At this rate, I think Disney might even take up the offer to
Just
buy a
get
different
some
IP.
competent people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And the other bit of news that might be real, might be fake. We're not news. Don't ever mistake us for being news.
This could be fake.
Yeah, was apparently Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness will have more characters than Avengers Endgame, which is going to be bad. I don't like that.
And also, what characters? Because I don't think they're going to bring back anyone who is out of MCU now. It'll be all the like new TV show characters and...
Yeah, but there were theories that there's going to be like Tom Cruise's Iron Man in another universe.
Yeah, I saw that Facebook post too, and I was very skeptical because it was like Tom Cruise's Iron Man, the original Hulk guy who did the Incredible Hulk, and then they recast him.
Oh yeah, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they bring him back because he got kicked out to begin with. Like the whole reason why he wasn't there anymore was because they had disagreement. So
yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
Because that guy, what's his name?
Did he want more money? Was that it?
No. He keeps doing this thing with every movie he's in where he insists on being part of the editorial process. He just gets into the editorial booth and they can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
It's worked out in some cases, like for American History X. I don't know any other movies that he edited, but he likes to take a firm hand in
editing
in his productions. And he's just hired as an actor, and they like, dude.
Well, they wouldn't let him touch this though.
Yeah, that's exactly why, because Disney.
Yeah. And there was not. Yeah, I saw Facebook. Okay, has the weirdest news, and it's so clickbaity.
Yeah. Sexy singles in my area that are interested. No, they're not. They might be single in my area and sexy. They're not interested. Self-burn.
But yeah, and yeah, I mean, with Marvel, with all the news, obviously stuff that keeps recurring, like the whole Spider-Man news, like that.
Well, that got photoshopped into existence.
But okay, there was also a leak of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man on the green screen in the end scene, and people were like, "Oh, it's fake." And someone even made a fake real video.
Yeah.
So there was a video that they have made about the behind the scenes of that clip.
Yeah.
And how it was made. But that whole how-to video was fake.
It's fake, yeah. But before this, like 2 years before, it was after Spider-Verse, where people just made photoshopped images of all the Spider-Man
together. Yeah,
and it became a thing.
Yeah.
So
I reckon it's okay. There's good things happen from the internet with that case, I think, because they're like, hey, all three guys, they'd want to do it. You know,
what else are they doing?
I heard a weird fact though, right? On Facebook as well, so I don't know how true it is. Whenever I see anything on Facebook, I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, fact check this.
Like, it was so bad. But they said that Tobey Maguire is the same age now as what's his face, who plays Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe, Willem Dafoe was in the first Spider-Man movie. And I was like, wow, I feel not young at all.
He's getting up there.
He's getting up there. He's an old fella.
But like you saw, they photoshopped it into reality.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen that photo of Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty convincing. Like I'll be down for that.
Well, he was initially one of the runners-up, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Gonna be.
I'd watch it. I'd watch him as Tom.
I don't know if I would. I'd have to see how he is as a.
As an actor, he's an incredible action actor.
Not as an actor, I hate to say it, but as a womanizer. Because Tony Stark, to begin with, is very much that like jerky womanizer.
Well, he was pretty creepy
playboy.
around Katie Holmes. Okay, 90s kids might get that one. You didn't see any of the Katie Holmes stuff?
Yeah.
He was jumping on couches and...
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, it's just part of the role, and it depends on what part of Tony's arc you're going to get him in. You're going to get him in the endgame type of stuff where he's still alive? Because if that's the case, I feel like you're just going to try to replace Robert Downey Jr., which you can't do.
I mean, you could if you want to. If you get someone good enough.
Yeah, but again...
That's the thing, though, man. Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to start doing this, because they have with the Batman. They're going to start, instead of like, oh, we need a whole cinematic universe, they'll have the cinematic universe, but they're not going to be like, oh, we have a new actor for this superhero. let's get a whole new origin story. They're going to stop doing that. They're just going to do individual movies for like, oh, okay, Tom Cruise is Iron Man in this one.
Yeah.
Eric Bana is the Hulk in this one again. Or
Like kind of like Bond, but they
Kind of like
keep
Bond, yeah.
switching back between actors.
Yeah, and it's just going to be, they're going to be individual projects, all loosely connected.
Dude, that'd be so good though.
Yeah.
Because then that's my issue with Marvel right now is because the last Spider-Man movie, it was all built up from all the previous movies, and it was all building up to the next couple of movies.
Yeah.
And so if you take all that out, you have this shallow shell of a movie.
Yep.
The same with the TV shows and stuff. Like bloody Loki was always being like, "Oh, we're gonna connect with Wanda,"
Yeah.
and Wanda's like, "We're gonna hang with Loki," and then nothing happens, and so fans are just like, "Oh," because
Yeah.
we had Endgame. Everyone's like, "That was amazing."
All of it was set up to Endgame apparently.
Yeah.
Now that it's over, where are the stakes?
Yeah, and fans are used to just everything connecting and being all exciting, and so yeah, that's my main issue with Marvel, and so, and the reason why I like to. It would be so good to watch a Marvel movie, not knowing anything going into it.
Yeah.
The last one I did that with, though, was Captain Marvel. So, that wasn't the best decision.
Yeah.
It would be nice, though, if they just step back from
It doesn't have to be a connected circle.
the
jerk
social
of
media
blah, blah, blah.
and, the circle of just...
After credit scenes.
I mean, that's ruined me now. I cannot finish a movie now. I mean, I always like reading credits because, respect to the people who made it, and also like to see how big the team was. Like some of those Marvel movies, holy crap, too many people worked on that movie.
And too many people are in the movie sometimes,
Yeah.
especially the Spider-Man ones.
Yeah.
You know?
But now it's like when it ends and there's nothing afterwards, I feel ripped off. I'm like, oh.
Tell you what, I would be happy with if they did though.
What?
Like, so if they just did like, you know how sometimes movies like that are star-studded cast, they'll just have tons of celebrity cameos. If they did that, where it's like just so many celebrity cameos, but it's just like it's really quick stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like if they had Don Cheadle as Nick Fury or something like that, just complete reversal. Actors are both in the MCU. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think that would be funny.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
You know, I miss just going on another tangent now.
Yeah.
I miss because of because of all the streaming services we don't have special features anymore for like TV shows and movies.
Sometimes some we do.
Yeah, but it's not as like back in the day. I'd get a DVD and I'd watch the movie, but then I'd also watch every like special feature available on that disc.
Same.
Like all behind the scenes
Commentary, everything.
Commentaries, loved it. Now you don't really get that. I would love to see again in like end credits of the outtakes of the movies.
Yeah.
Because those are so good. Like I remember the Rush Hour with Jackie Chan.
Oh.
Those are funny outtakes. There's like
Yeah.
part where they're at the airport and then he's like, "Yo, what's up? No, I'm filming right now, Jackie Chan." Yeah, it's him. And then Jackie Chan's like, "Why are you calling? We are filming." And like, stuff like that where it's like, okay, I watched the movie, I had a good time. Give me
Classic.
some good outtakes.
Yeah, I like that sort
I
of
miss
stuff,
those.
It's a different era, man.
And now everything just feels like really bad fan fiction.
Yep. Because it's all based off other things and it's a
And people
loose
who are in
trilogy.
charge are just...
Yeah.
They're not there from experience. They're there because of what they believe in.
And also the money people are just like, give us what we had before. Do the same thing, but make it woke this time.
Or do this thing, but we saw this thing on Reddit fans are mad about. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
When the Star Wars scripts leak, I did not believe it at first. I was like, surely they cannot.
Which one?
The most recent sequel.
Oh.
Episode 9. I was like, surely they cannot. It would not be that bad. And it was up in the air. They were saying they showed two different types of movie. This is the first one, this is the second one. And I'm like, surely the second one, which was what we got, would not come to pass. That just sounds awful. And I remember going to the theatre and it opening and being like, no. And then it was an awful... It was a long time.
It was, yeah.
Anyway.
Last thing just about the Star Wars thing. One of my mates who was like, I'm really big about, like, I know good movies. Like, I love Tarantino. He's one of the best filmmakers. He hadn't seen any Star Wars movie, right? And then he went and watched all of them, and then he went and saw, just to see the sequels.
Yeah.
And he said that the Rise of Skywalker was one of the best movies he's ever seen. Until I asked him some questions about it, and he started liking it less. Yeah. I will make you hate things I don't like.
There was... I will admit, there was one scene in that movie that I was like, oh, and that was the bit where they beaconed to everyone in the galaxy to come fight, and then you see all the spaceships, and I was like, of course they would. Out of all the rebellions, people would finally show up.
But how'd they get there without the thing?
But, okay, the thing that...
Without the Sith Omicron?
Yeah, there was so many things relevant to that, but the fact that there was no real build-up to it...
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, Chekhov's gun or whatever, of like, we can call everyone in. it just happened, and there was 3 seconds, and then they were riding horses on on spaceships.
They were riding horses on spaceships to destroy a tower that stopped the spaceships from figuring out which way is up. And so you destroy that tower, all of them will drop.
Sidious was back, which just shows that they did not care about the original trilogy.
Well, that's the thing, man.
Like,
somehow Palpatine returned.
and they are. You can see now they're trying to. Wait, are you making a joke?
Well, no, because that's literally in the movie.
Yeah.
They're all like, everyone get around. We got a message and it confirms the worst. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's the explanation.
And I was like, oh, really?
No one else is like, nah, that's fake news.
Yeah. Didn't we kill him like twice? No, we didn't. Oh, man. But sorry, last thing about Star Wars, right?
We should do a Star Wars
video, right? Star Wars Episode 7. Oh, the Death Star's destroyed, but they have a big one. It's the size of a planet now. Second one, I mean, they had a massive ship. And the third was like, oh, now we have several hundred Death Star capable weapons. And it's just like, can you not make anything new? Just over and over again. Anyway.
I mean, that's one thing George said he hated the most about everything that's been made since he's sold it. Because he's like, at least the prequels kind of felt a bit different.
Yeah.
They did different things.
Yeah.
Like, as much as you can say, I don't like 1, 2, and 3, at least they still felt Star Wars, but I think part of that lent into the fact that there was new things being done in the movies, where he's like, the past 3 movies have just been the exact same crap as what I've already done.
Yep.
And even Mandalorian, it's just like, okay,
same crap.
We're on Tatooine.
Again.
We're on Tatooine. We go to this other planet, there's a frog with eggs and whatever, and then finally Luke shows up, and then, like, it... Ugh.
I think Luke made it worse. Shouldn't have put him in. Why put him in? Why?
I gotta think about that.
And the deepfake looked awful.
Oh, it did. They did.
should have used Sebastian Stan.
Dude, Corridor Digital did a bit of deepfake.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Well, okay, I watched the behind the scenes on that, actually. The one thing that Disney Plus did give me was behind the scenes, but it's very, we're very good at making movies, you see. And this,
yeah, here's how we do it. You can't.
Alright, Disney. I would prove you wrong. But they locked one guy in a room.
Didn't let him out till he did it.
Legit.
And so he's like, well, all I've got on here is MS Paint.
They're like, we got the best guy from Industrial Light and Magic, and we locked him in a room until it was done.
Yep.
It's like, okay, for starters, that's not a very good way to get anything done. It's better to work in a team, even if it's a small team.
Yep.
And
at least put some holes in the door so we can breathe or something. Yeah.
It
Feeding tube, hamster wheel.
Yeah. Anyways, any more news topics? Is that it?
No, that's it. That's it, man. We're done for now.
We're done.
Yeah.
We are done.
It's almost your home time.
Oh.
Yeah, your mum will be here to pick you up soon.
Yay.
No.
And that again, McDonald's.
We have McDonald's at home. I don't know. Alright. So we've been Nightly News.
We've been Night's Watch.
Oh.
And this has been Nightly News. Sorry, people get confused sometimes.
Well, I was doing it in Japanese, but in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Continue then, Sensei.
Arigato for watching.